Most of us need little convincing that the Seychelles is an idyllic holiday destination. But Joanne is going to try to convince us anyway. Because she sells Seychelles on the seashore. And the Seychelles that she sells is Seychelles for sure.
Our visit to the Seychelles in association with Sure Travel began in Victoria, where unlike other capitals projecting power or commerce, this is a nation dedicated to quality of life.
With their vibrant colors and tropical climate, the islands have lured visitors from all over the world. Visits have been extended by weeks, months, even years, as people embrace all that is truly Seychellois.
With no indigenous population, anyone who lives here arrived as an immigrant. So as a tourist, you immediately feel like something of a citizen. One particular immigrant is artist Michael Adams. Born in Malaysia, raised in Tanzania, and educated in England, he then taught art in Uganda, met his wife in Kenya, and arrived here at 35, ready to paint.
Michael, you've been here in the Seychelles for 38 years. What makes this such a unique place to be an artist?
Well, it's still naive. It doesn't have monster-grade buildings. There's only one set of traffic lights and all the usual things about a place to escape to where you are in direct touch with nature. I mean, the trees are coming in at you all the time, and I plant something every day, and I love nature.
He and his wife Heather still live in the same wooden plantation house, surrounded on all sides by Michael's subject matter.
I paint in nature direct. Usually, I don't paint from my own imagination. I'm fairly objective when I start, and then I decorate like mad afterwards. My paintings are only one-dimensional, so I put in as much as I can to evoke smell, color, touch, all the senses you can imagine.
The islands were a French colony, and at the breathtaking seaside restaurant called Eight, it's clear this archipelago didn't miss the attention of another nation famed for its food.
Joelle, why the Seychelles?
I come from Belgium, Brussels, and I was born in Africa, so in Zaire. And when I was growing up in Belgium, my friend and me, we were dreaming to come back to Africa, and we saw that the changing mentality that we were dreaming for, and we found it here.
This truly is paradise.
It's nirvana.
As simple as the natural beauty all around, so is Joelle's decor choice of classic marine colors with a dash of silver thrown in.
We was playing with the color of the nature, so the blue, the white, a more clear color, and also to play with the shells and the wood. All the things from Seychelles, really nature.
Belgians are well known for chocolate, but given the climate here, Chef Jean-Baptiste Dalpey has gone for a broader style of cuisine.
Bon, il est vrai qu'aller dans un restaurant avec un surprise menu.
Chef says that surprise is the biggest item on the menu, and by dishing up little tastes of new things, they give diners the confidence to try the unknown, spreading that spirit of adventure which brought them here in the first place.
But I must say, a lot of people dream of living on an island, and you've actually made your dream come true.
Yes, it's true. It's only the thing to make the step or not. So we have made the step to change life and to do it.
As if she wasn't already convinced, Joanne struck out from Port Victoria for another island in the archipelago, reputed to have the best beaches of all. You can take a chopper or aircraft, but then you'd be missing the joy of the seafarers who first uncovered these treasures.
Praslin, or the Island of Palms, is the second largest island in the Seychelles, measuring just under 40 square kilometers. It's home to some of the world's most pristine beaches and also the famous Coco de Mer palm.
Inside the Vallée de Mai Nature Reserve are palms as high as the luxury yachts in the bay are long. Trees which have stood here for anything up to 400 years, when Vasco da Gama first charted the islands.
So this is the famous Coco de Mer.
Yes, this is in fact a palm which is still quite young. It hasn't got flowers yet. And when you plant them, it takes like between 3 months to a year for it to germinate. And the first flowering is after 18 to 23 years. And the male palm will flower before the female palm. and it takes 7 years for one of those huge nuts to become mature.
So how old would this one be?
Every year it produces between 3 to 4 young leaves, so this one will be about 6.5 to 7 years old.
Slightly different to the fruits of the forest you'd find in your yogurt, these are nicknamed love nuts, and it's not hard to see why.
Okay, so right here we have got the beautiful female nut.
The coco de mer.
Yeah.
I've heard about her.
And
Okay.
here we have got the male.
I'm holding the national nut of the Seychelles, and she's quite a beauty.
It is.
And at 20 kgs, you want to watch which palm you walk under. The Seychelles holds the record for the highest percentage of land under natural conservation, 50%, the definition of sustainable tourism.
If the Seychelles are compared to a sprinkling of gemstones in the Indian Ocean, then Sainte Anne would undoubtedly be its crowning jewel. 220 hectares of private island surrounded by a marine park and a welcome third stop on my island hop.
If the visitor feels too spoilt for choice and is seized by indecision, then the general manager of this hideaway insists you needn't even leave the island.
Hervé, with 115 islands to choose from, what brings people here?
You have a little piece of everything, all 115 islands in Sainte Anne. And there are some people who want to enjoy Sainte Anne, they don't want to travel from island to island. Definitely they can discover everything. We have 3 different beaches in the property. We have wonderful sea turtles all year round. We have land turtles on the park, and we have the famous coco de mer.
In the heady surrounds of those palms, of hibiscus bushes and fragrant frangipani trees, they've hit on a fitting decor style too.
Chic, décontracté. I think that's the kind of atmosphere I want to create. Chic because it's a 5-star deluxe and one of the best hotels in Seychelles, and décontracté because we want to feel guests at ease. So you know you don't have to dress up in no bow tie and no tie in the evening. So we want people to relax.
Before the Portuguese sighted them in 1501, the first to navigate these coralline islands were Polynesians, probably in vessels rather like these.
In a country where the temperature rarely plummets to under 27 degrees Celsius and the water temperature pretty much matches it, the best thing to do is take advantage of the great outdoors, Seychellois style.
Seeing the scenery under your own steam, you start to understand the quiet magic of what the locals wake up to. The added benefit of all the exercise is that you also work up a fisherman's appetite.
Sainte Anne was the first ever inhabited island here in the Seychelles. It was also the place where the first restaurant came about in 1955. So I think it's quite apt that they named the restaurant Le Robinson, after the great Robinson Crusoe, of course. Hey Rocco, how you doing?
Hi, fine, you?
Fantastic. This looks interesting.
Yes, this is coconut hurt. We use for prepare the famous smoked marlin and palm heart salads.
It doesn't taste like coconut at all.
A little bit like a coconut, but also you can compare with the artichoke.
Who needs a supermarket with this wealth of fresh ingredients and a catch to make old fishermen wish for younger days?
This is exactly what I would imagine Seychellois cooking like.
For the barbecue, we have white capitan, small white capitan, very popular fish. Then we have king prawns, lobster, calamari steak, and crabs. We have just to prepare the tropical salsa for the fish. It's very simple. We use the tropical fruits. We have some papaya, mango, kiwi, ananas, little bit onions. We have already prepared. We have just to take all ingredients, put in the bowl with some salt, pepper, and olive oil.
If you were to be shipwrecked here, then it's unlikely that you'd ever want to be rescued.
I can imagine that Robinson Crusoe would have had dinner like this.
Yeah, the wood is salvaged from the boat, like a few things you have on the table, to give the impression to live the Robinson life.
And even given the vibrant tourism, there's practically a beach and an island for every man, woman, and child.
I think I found the jewel of the Seychelles, and I might just linger a little bit longer.
Seclusion never felt this good. Sure Travel